Buongiorno or buonasera, depending on what time of day it is or where you are. Today, I wanted to introduce you to your first three verbs, the very first verbs that you should learn if you're learning Italian. And before we do that, we're going to introduce you to your pronome soggetto or your subject pronouns. Important to know, but not quite as important to know. The reason is because you'll find that Italian verbs are all different in their conjugations or generally different. And so by context, we understand who we're talking about. So we don't always need to say I or you or he or she or we or you all or they. But it is important to know nonetheless. They do pop up quite a good bit, and certainly for emphasis and for clarity. So the first one we have is io, which would be I. Tu, which is you in formal. Lei, you in the formal. Lei or lui, she or he. Noi, we. Voi, you all in formal. Loro, you all formal. And note that loro and the you all formal, not really used tremendously much. It's very formal, antiquated, but you could see it. And then also loro, they. Now there's some capitalization, right? We see loro capitalized and loro not capitalized. They're pronounced exactly the same. Same thing with lei and lei on the singular side. All right, next, let's look at il presente di stare, the present tense of the verb stare, probably the first verb that you'll learn, and I think should be included as the first one here, because we use it in talking about how we are doing. Note that when you are in Italy or speaking with an Italian, we don't typically say, hey, how are you, with a standard kind of good reply. You ask someone how they're doing if you know them, if you have a relationship with them, and if you want to know actually how they're doing and not just get the standard good response. You don't use it as a de facto greeting as we do often in America. All right, so here's what we got. And I'll repeat it with the subject pronouns and then without them, because when you're speaking the phrases, you probably won't use the subject pronoun, but they are important to know. So we have io sto, tu stai, lei sta, lui, lei sta, noi stiamo, voi state, loro stanno, loro stanno. I'll do it quickly now without the subject pronouns, and I'm not going to repeat the ones that are identical in form. So sto, stai, sta, stiamo, state, stanno. Sto, stai, sta, stiamo, state, stanno. So there'll be phrases like come stai, meaning how are you doing? Come stai, different than como as you have in Spanish. The only time we see como in Italian is when we're referring to the lake in northern Italy, Lago di Como. Sto molto bene. I am doing very well. I'm very well. Sto molto bene. So ways that we can use this first very important verb to talk about how we're doing in terms of our health or how we're feeling. Next one is il presente di essere. Essere is to be, essere. Used very frequently, all the time, as a matter of fact. So we'll go over it again. This time I'll omit the subject pronouns as I go through the conjugations. Sono, sei, è, siamo, siete, sono. Sono, sei, è, siamo, siete, sono. So used in phrases like sono uno studente, I am a student. Sono una studentessa, I'm a student, but the feminine form. Italian agrees in a number and gender with nouns, so that's why we have that there. Sono stanco, I am tired, or sono stanca, I am tired in the feminine. Sono di Roma. I am from Rome. Di, the preposition there, means from. Sono di Roma. È molto buono. It's very good. It's very tasty. Buono. Sono belli. They are beautiful. Sono buonissimi. Buonissimi. They are delicious. Siete bravi. You are great or really good at something. All right, the last verb that you should learn for these first three to get you started in Italian is the verb avere, il presente di avere, the present tense of avere, meaning to have. Great verb to know because it talks about, of course, possession, and also it's used in many idiomatic expressions. So I'll do it again without the subject pronouns this time. O, I, a, abbiamo, avete, hanno. You might have noticed that I'm not pronouncing the H when it's at the beginning of the word. And so the H is essentially dropped when we pronounce it at the beginning of the words. H is used in Italian in other pronunciations to make a change vowel sounds, but we don't need to go to that here. So one more time. O, I, a, abbiamo, avete, hanno. So we'll do some examples. O fame, I am hunger. I am hungry. I might be a little hungry myself right now. I have hunger, literally, is how we say it in Italian. Ho voglia di un panino. I have voglia, a desire, di of un panino, of a sandwich. I feel like having a sandwich. Ha un sacchetto. Do you have a bag? Sacchetto. We use this. This phrase is important because it will probably ask you in a checkout line whether you have a bag or not. Because if you don't have one, they will charge you for one. Ho 20 anni. I am 20 years old. If you believe that, then well, I don't know. You need some glasses. But ho 20 anni. I have 20 years, or I am 20 years old. Abbiamo biglietti. We have tickets. Avere bisogno di means to have a need of. Avere voglia di means to have a desire of. So we could say something like abbiamo bisogno di, we have a need of mangiare, eating. And we're using a verb in the infinitive here. Or abbiamo voglia di mangiare, we feel like eating. Well, that's it. Quick video just going over these present tense verbs. Hope that was helpful for you. These are three key verbs you want to make sure you know very, very well. They will pop up all the time again and again.